funniest music videos I've ever seen in my life, including one with a baby, an aborted baby that dances around. It's pretty amazing. Go back and look that up. And she's got a new show picked up. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Bloom. It does. I just hit it with my knee. I like that we have a little child's desk for me. You know?
Yeah.
Also, you notice my legs look like puppeteer legs underneath it.
I haven't noticed that, but now I notice it.
Yeah. You'll be thinking about it the rest of the time. It's like a weird perspective thing. But thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Gosh, you just got your new show picked up. How was that?
Pilot to pilot.
The pilot.
Just want to. I just don't want them to get showtime and then be like, where the fuck is that?
I think we all should go out and get Showtime and look for her show that after.
No, that's not. I heard Masters of Sex is good. I
like Dexter, but it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, and then he ended up as a lumberjack.
He did.
So, I hear you recently went to Indiana.
Right, we were talking about it backstage because you're from Alabama.
I am, unfortunately.
And I just went to Indiana.
He likes that.
I just went to Indiana for a comedy festival. And I haven't spent much time in the South or the Midwest. I grew up in LA and I lived in New York, and now obviously live in LA. So like, I have only lived in like the two most liberal cities in the world. So I was in Indiana, and I don't know if anyone's from Indiana or knows Indiana, but I was going into Bloomington, which is like, you know, the super like hipster town, and we drove past this place called Martinsville, and my cab driver, who was Ethiopian, was like, oh, that's Martinsville. If you're black and you go there, you die. And I was like, oh my God. And I realized that I was talking to people in Bloomington after this, and I was saying how like racists are like zoo animals to me, because I never really knew anyone super racist. So whenever I meet someone super conservative or racist, I'm like, oh my God, you actually exist. You're not just some terrible like SNL character. And then I went to Bloomington, which is, in the contrast to Indiana, apparently full of gay bars, and it's just super liberal. And before I went into Martinsville, and I couldn't help but think like, wow, Indiana's really liberal. Surprisingly like open-minded, liberal, but it's apparently just the one good place in the rest of the shit state. So.
What's funny is in Alabama, you would think, when people talk about Alabama, the first question they always ask me is, have you had sex with your sister? Or
really?
Yeah, no joke. I have so many jokes.
Why would you answer that truthfully? Answer that question truthfully.
No, that's that, and I also get, have I ever had sex with an animal? That one's a big one. Have you ever had sex with a goat?
I can't believe people are actually asking you this question.
It happened more in Florida than it did here, which is
you ever had sex with a
goat? Yeah. I don't know why they decided it just not even a state away. All of a sudden, goat sex.
Also, Florida is not one to talk.
Seriously, look at the top of Florida. That place is a cesspool.
It's terrible. There's a Twitter just called the Florida Man, where they just tweet about every headline that says Florida Man, and it's always something terrible.
What's up with Florida?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. But in Alabama, it's surprisingly, I never really knew anyone racist.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, never really knew anyone racist, except for kind of my grandfather. That's the scene misleading. He is very close to me. He's not really racist as much as he keeps thinking, my grandparents call them the blacks. And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, don't call them that. And they're like, well, they told me not to call them the colors. I was like, oh God, I can't do this. They're just people.
You know what? I actually take it back. My grandparents were the same way. My grandmother would say the word color, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "That's what we called it." I'm like, but. We also, I don't know, used to not be able to vote as women, and we voted. So, we've made progress as a species. Stop this. But yeah, I've only grown up in the most open-minded places. So any place that's, and also as a Jewish person, I've never really encountered anti-Semitism, so I'm also like, when I hear about people being anti-Semitic, I'm almost tickled by it. I'm like, oh, really? You think I'm dangerous? How interesting. Like my fiance and I went to the Creation Museum in Kentucky, and he was, he's also Jewish, and he was like, if anyone asks, we're lapsed Baptists from Richmond. He was so adamant. He was so afraid they'd just be like, Jew, and like shoot us both. But they didn't.
I feel like those people, above all other people, would love Jewish people.
I think they really liked that we were there. Yeah, I think anti-Semitism is hilarious because to me, Jews are so just like friendly and unassuming. So it's just like, you fucking Jew, and it's just like, hello, would you like some bagels? Like, we're so not starting trouble, and the fact that everyone really hated us is just hilarious to me. Because we're just not, you know.
Just not racist.
We're just like lame.
Just lame.
We're just lame. Why are you hating us?
I would say probably, if I had to describe Alabamians, I would say lame as well, but also fat. There's a lot of fat people there. I like that they got a laugh from Gil in the back. that one got one. I do want to point out, speaking of family, the Kitty and
Oh, right. We should talk about this.
My wife's grandmother came up to us, wrote us this cryptic text message saying, something's coming up. And when she sends us that, you don't know what she'll do.
Yeah.
It could be a big box of chocolate, it could be anything. It could be a Bible saying you are a sinner written on the front, like anything. And she, on the front of the box, when you open it up, there's a card. My wife, of course, makes us read the cards first, which I hate.
Yeah.
Hate cards. Violently hate cards. And it says in the front, I saw this. I immediately knew how much you love it. This will be your new favorite thing. And she's dead serious. And we open up and that's in it. We laugh for like half an hour. And I'm like, we're putting that on the show's couch. Everyone must see how awesome this film is.
I mean, it's not that shocking. Having grown up in New York and LA, I'm very used to dogs and cats being together in harmony. Not from the South where the cats and the dogs hate each other.
And we just got a cat, and I think that's where.
Oh, wow.
Because we already had a dog.
How's that going?
Surprisingly well. Indiana loves to lick her, and she loves to swipe at his eyeball. It's a pretty harmonious relationship.
I'm really surprised. My dog instantly wants to kill any cat.
Weirdly, Indiana likes.
I love that your dog is named Indiana. We were just talking about Indiana. I don't know. If I were smarter, I'd find a joke. But instead, I'll just point it out.
I'm just going to go with Indiana. But yeah, he very much just like hates other dogs, like violently hates other dogs. But cats, he just loves cats. He's the weirdest dog in the whole world.
That's really cool. I love it. He's very puppy. Great puppy.
Yeah, I think so. So tell me, moving on from puppies.
I love your wedding ring, by the way.
Thank you. It's heavy.
What's it made of?
Tungsten. This is where this conversation has gone to. Kittens and tungsten. Tell your friends.
Because my fiance and I are looking at wedding rings, and we were contemplating getting wedding rings made of meteorites, which you can get, and this made me look like a meteorite ring, so I got excited. But it's made of tungsten.
Yeah, tungsten. It's very, the only thing I don't like about it is very heavy. And I also broke my finger when I was a child. Well, I didn't break it, my brother broke it.
Yeah.
And so I have a weird cracked fracture going up my finger.
Oh.
And it never fully went away, so every once in a while the ring will make my finger throb violently, and my wife thinks I'm cheating on her because I take it off.
Oh, it's a bad choice for a wedding.
Isn't it?
We didn't know that at the time. Right?
So tell us, I want to hear a little about your show. Like, can you tell us the premise of the show?
Yeah, sure. Again, it's a pilot, so hopefully you'll see it. Although pilots sometimes float around. I don't know.
I did a pilot.
I don't know what.
No one's ever seen it.
You did?
You did this one though. I acted in a pilot. I didn't write a pilot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What was it for?
This was like 6 years ago, and it was a pilot called Spinners, and I was a fresh out of college, like rookie that started working at an advertising agency. Yeah, it was just this real cheesy. It was me and this other guy named Dan, and he's literally 6'11". He's huge, and I look up all the jokes are me looking up at him.
What network was it for?
It did never he got Sony paid for it, and then that was it. I never heard anything else about it. So.
All right.
Yeah. So, you know, somewhere out there when.
Hollywood! That's like sums up like so much of what a writing career is or a show business career is, which is like, oh yeah, Sony picked it up, but then it died.
It just died. Someone saw it and went, no. That guy's too short for that guy.
But my show is it's a musical. And it's about a girl who, it's called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and it's about a girl who, that I play, who basically has a nervous breakdown and decides that, and as she's having the breakdown, runs into her ex-boyfriend and realizes that the key to solving all her problems is to leave her life and move to where her ex-boyfriend is and try to get back with him. And it takes place in West Covina, which is like in the Inland Empire, like an hour away from here. So it's this starry-eyed musical in West Covina.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What shows would you compare that to? What would you say it's like? Or can you?
You know, not to sound like a real asshole, but like it's pretty tonally unique. I realized like after we wrote the pilot, it's pretty. I mean, the things that I could compare it to are more like Broadway musicals. I'd say it's like more along the lines of a movie musical in some ways. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would say. It's like a movie musical.
It's like a movie musical.
Yeah, that's super cool. Except a TV show.
That's a TV show.
Obviously.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a TV show.
Yeah.
Well, I really, really appreciate you coming. Thank you for talking
Thanks for
about your
having me.
show. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Bloom.
Yeah.